Hey, it's Nemato. Welcome back this week, guys. Episode 3 of the randomized Eurorack sessions. Right now, the Make Noise SKIFF is empty, so let's run it through the random selector and see what comes up. God, I wish it was that easy. Okay, Metropolis SMR Quadnic. It's gonna be an ambient track. Okay, so I decided to start this song with the Quadnic module kind of as the focus at this point. So what I have is kind of an ambient sounding pad that kind of evolves over time and changes. And so for the patch breakdown of this, like the name implies, the Quadnic module from Studio Electronics is a 4-voice oscillator, which I have set in unison mode, which you can tell from the 4 lit LEDs up here. I have a scale selected with the chord knob, and the process mode is selected with sequence, and the sequence is running really slow, which I have designated by this process knob here. The voices are coming out into the 2 Pico DSP modules from Erica Synth. One of them is selected as a delay, the other to a reverb. Just kind of makes for an interesting texture for this pad sound. And then I am doing some modulation to a couple modules with this quad LFO Batumi. One of the signals is coming out into the Optomix, which I'm attenuating down the LFO so that it's not such a strong signal as it runs into the FM slot of the multi-mode filter. And then this is in low pass mode, so I'm just filtering off some of the high frequencies from this Quadnic voice. Ultimately, the whole sequence is being generated by the Metropolis sequencer. So I have a 5-step pattern, which is running rather slow at about 80 beats per minute, 5 different notes that are controlling the pitch of the Quadnic. This kind of leads to a pad that's kind of ever evolving and changing with the Batumi module slowly oscillating these different parameters. And so let's take a listen to it. Okay, so that first patch should balance out with this SMR from 4MS pretty well for this second patch that I have set up. I'm using 5 modules here. So the SMR from 4MS is a 6-voice VCO. The resonance is turned all the way up, so I'm just getting kind of a nice high pitch frequency out of the 6 channels. Channels 2 through 6 have their level being modulated by LFOs out of the Batumi module. Channel 1, I have the level being modulated by the 2HP random. The output of the SMR is going into the Optomix, and I have a square wave modulating the level of the Optomix that these 6 voices combined are receiving in there. The output of the Optomix is going into this Erica Synth Pico DSP, and I have a stereo delay effect ultimately going into the interface. So I have set up basically a chord with these 6 different voices here, and I have 5 of the 6 all locked to the same frequency. Channel 4, I'm just adjusting this dial back and forth between 2 notes at this 80 beats per minute tempo. So this is what this whole patch sounds like. Okay, next I wanted to get another patch set up that was more of a melodic line, kind of a faster melody to go over the top of kind of this evolving 5-note pad that I have going so far. So this time with the Quadnic module, I'm just using the second voice out of this oscillator, controlling the pitch with the Metropolis. I'm running a 8-step sequence here. These are running in through both of the Erica Synth Pico DSP modules, one with a delay, one with a reverb. I wasn't getting the gate that I wanted out of just the Metropolis, so I'm doing a trick with this multi-mode filter where using the clock output from the Metropolis into the ping, it allows me to use this FM to control almost like the gate or the attack of this pingable filter. So I'm going to record 2 different sequences, and I'm just going to kind of play with the cutoff and the FM to kind of make this sequence evolve and change across the duration of the song. Okay, don't mind the construction going on in the studio right now. There's some changes happening. One of the last things that I patched in from the SKIFF was using the SMR, basically just turning the resonance all the way down, still using the Batumi to oscillate the 6 voices. Kind of adds for this nice texture element that's almost like some wind sound, kind of adding to the ethereal element of this ambient track. In terms of the Logic session and arrangement, I found that the low frequency in that Quadnic pad was a little bit resonant, and so just to kind of beef up the sound a little bit, I added just a sub bass line in here, which is just essentially following the same 5-note pattern. I did add drums rather than trying to find a way to make decent kick and snare samples out of the SKIFF. Just opted to use a couple samples that I had in the computer and just created a real simple kick and snare pattern that just kind of evolves, as well as kind of this like scratchy rhythmic pattern using, I think it was Contact that I used to create this other texture. And other than that, that's it. In terms of mixing, this has been hell. Reason for it is there's a lot of kind of mid-range heavy frequencies in this track, and this happens sometimes. I was really struggling to get everything to sound the way that I wanted it to. I was this close to just scratching everything and kind of starting over. That's how frustrated I've gotten with it. Keep your day job, Nate. So this brings me to a point. If you guys, while you're mixing or working on music, have either someone else who's also a producer, mix engineer, someone who's kind of into music production who can listen to your track and give you some feedback or advice, it may kind of clear up what it is that you're struggling with in a mix. They might be able to give you advice to kind of fix things up. Or even if you just have someone who enjoys listening to music that you trust their opinion on, send it to them and just see what they tell you if they feel like something sounds off in certain frequencies or something. Again, I was ready to kind of scrap all of this, so shout out to my brother for as always being there as my backup mixing engineer to give me advice. Basically with this Quadnic pad, I was just struggling a lot with the mid-range frequencies, and so kind of resetting the EQ work that I had in there initially, going in and just kind of redoing some of this, it just cleaned up the track so much more and got the whole mix to sound where I wanted it to. So just like I've done in the last couple of randomized Eurorack SKIFF sessions, I ran the entire mix out through the Aphex exciter unit. I don't even think that they manufacture these Aphex exciters anymore, so I feel pretty fortunate that I have one, because for electronic music, it just does something really nice to the low and high frequencies of track, which is really kind of the emphasis of most electronic music. Pretty much the only outboard piece of mixing gear that I own at this point. I'm utilizing that again in this track. Last thing that I'll say about the track is, I'm kind of keeping it rather simple with this because of the modules that I have in that case. This kind of ambient texture that slowly grows, I really didn't feel like I had to do a whole lot of stuff to it or add lots of different elements, because I'm pretty happy with the way that it sounds. So without any more delay, check it out. Alright guys, that'll do it for this week. As usual, the song is on my website, listed in the description down below if you guys would like to download it for free. And otherwise, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the song, as well as maybe if you guys have any of these modules, ways that you like to use them, or any questions that you may have in general. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe to the channel on your way out of here. That we will still do the giveaway at 500 subscribers, so help me reach that goal. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next episode. I will try to get at least one more of these in before the new year happens. All right, see you guys next time.